So the Phillies beat the Pirates 6-0. It's their 13th shutout of the year. They're now 17 games over 500 once again for the first time in 11 years. They also have won six consecutive games, which is the longest active winning streak in baseball. I am Taryn Hatcher. He is Ruben Amaro Jr., and we are talking about all of that and more here on Phillies Postgame Live, presented by Curado Insurance. Ruben, the Phillies score all 6 of their runs in the first 3 innings, once again getting off to a super hot start against the Pirates. But what jumped out to you the most about this game, whether it was the start, Kyle Gibson, JT Realmuto, Nick Castellanos on Nick Castellanos t-shirt night, what about it jumped out to you?
I think more than anything else, Taryn, it's all about these guys having the right formula for success. They get out to early leads. The starters are going deep into games. They're giving quality starts. It has a total residual effect on what happens in the bullpen even later on. There's so many great things that come about when a starter can throw this many innings and this effectively, and Gibson was just dealing against these young hitters.
Yeah, Kyle Gibson was incredibly effective tonight. And speaking about someone who's always effective in the booth, bringing the entertainment, let's now welcome in John Kruk on the crossover. Krucky, I posted about my opinions on you taking a front office job with a hockey team, and the people want it. They really want it. So I know it's not something you're planning on, but just a heads up.
He's got lots of skills. He's got lots of skills.
Yeah, some hockey brass.
I tell you what, the hockey that I watch, I hope that one thing they do as a front office person for an organization is they don't have me pronounce all those names. And they don't expect me to know all those names.
Krucky, you don't have to. I'll give you name pronunciation sheets that I will mess up myself. All right, let's talk about the Phillies, though. I mean, a 6-game winning streak. They've been so incredibly impressive and effective as of late. But when you talk about tonight's performance specifically, what impressed you the most about what they were able to do against a lowly Pirates team, but a team that you have to beat if you want to make it to October?
Well, they did what they were supposed to do. And Ruben can tell you, when we played, I think '93, the Marlins were an expansion team. And, every time we would play the Marlins or a team that we knew we were better than, we'd hear it from Vuk and we'd hear it from Larry Boa. Bury them early. Don't let them think they have a chance. And that's what the Phillies have done these first 2 games of this series against the Pirates. Now, the Pirates kind of snuck back in last night and made it a little scarier than what we hoped. But Kyle Gibson made sure that didn't happen tonight after he was spotted a 6-run lead.
Hey, Krucky, Rob Thomson has kind of set the tone, and he's talked a lot about, getting 10 games over 500, 15. Now he's looking at 20. How does that affect the clubhouse when he talks openly about that kind of stuff with the rest of the guys on the club?
Well, Ruben, it's goals. And, that's what players want. They want, what do you expect from us? You're the manager. What do you expect from us? Well, I expect by the end of this month to be 10 over, and I expect by the middle of this month to be 15. And that's great, and he did it. The thing I always hated, I could not stand this, before the season started, to hear a front office person or a manager or a coach say, if we can finish 500 this year, we'll be happy.
Well, I didn't care for that either. Believe me.
Yeah, but you're basically telling your guys.
I never said that.
No, not you. But I'm not talking about the Phillies. I'm talking, all other organizations. And so, what are you telling your players? Hey, if you're average, we'll be happy. Average stinks. I'm sorry, in sports, average stinks. Average gets you nowhere. You have to be above average by a lot to play in the postseason, well, most of the time. But, especially this year in the National League, especially the way the East is, the Mets and the Braves are really good. But the wild card teams are really good, too, that are in the fight with the Phillies right now. And, that's the thing. You want to be average, be average. But guess what? Come October, you're going to be watching above average teams play, and you're going to be sitting there thinking, oh, boy, maybe next year we should be a little bit above average. Can't stand that. Bury them early. Don't be average.
The Phillies chasing October. I want to take another look at these wild card standings. John Kruk talked about the importance of making sure the bullpen can get some rest, that you're working efficiently at this point in the season. The Phils now 3 games ahead of the Padres, 2.5 games ahead of the Brewers. That cushion, Ruben, gets a little softer.
Yeah, no, I love the fact that they're beating up on these teams. There's no question. Listen, you can look at the standings and say, hey, this is a team we should win 2 out of 3 for, or 3 out of 4, or what have you. but you got to get it done. And that's exactly what these guys are doing. They're playing well enough to win baseball games. There are sometimes, Taryn, when teams are playing well enough to lose. Well, these guys are playing well enough to win, and they're doing exactly what they need to do to try to space themselves away from the Milwaukee Brewers. The Milwaukee Brewers have a great pitching staff, and you can't sleep on them. If they get their hitting together, they can be difficult. So it's a good thing that they're playing the games and winning the games they're supposed to.
And the Brewers and Padres, their results are pending. That being said, that's why winning these games feels like it's so much more important, because you can gain a little ground and then they can catch it. But as long as you don't give anything up overnight and wake up in the morning and they're that much closer, then it's still a win. All right, let's hear now from manager Rob Thomson.
Early runs this week, just how important has that been during the win streak, particularly against teams like this?
Yeah, it's really important to jump out front, You get people on their heels, and especially the way we've been scoring runs. 4 last night in the first inning, and then JT with the 3 RBI triple or double to get us up 3, and then we add on 2 in the second, and then Castellanos home run in the third. So it's huge. It just gets people on their heels, and your pitching staff, although you don't want them to relax too much, but they can at least get settled into the game and concentrate on throwing strikes.
He continues to be on a roll. What was so effective for him tonight?
Well, I think sinker's really good. The cutter's very effective against left-handed hitters. I think all his pitches were good tonight. 1 walk, 9 strikeouts. He was really good, and he's been good for a while now.
I was going to say the last 9 is he got an ERA of under 3, I think.
Yeah.
Compared to that start of the season, what's been the difference there?
I think he went through a stretch there where he wasn't locating his pitches, and now he is, and he's throwing strikes, and he's pounding the zone and throwing the ball out of the zone when he needs to.
What's kind of flipped for JT over the last 2 months that he's playing like one of the best players in the league?
I don't know. It's confidence, getting needed rest when he he looks really fresh right now, and he'll play again tomorrow, even though it's a day game after a night game. But he's swinging the bat well, and he's catching well, and he's leading well. So that's really good.
You feel like he's healthier at this point in the season than
I think so. Yeah. He's the last couple of years he had kind of nagging injuries, and I think it was the leg last year, and maybe it was last year or the year before, but shoulder last year. So it's, he's healthy right now, and he looks like the JT that we know.
Gibson's thrown a lot of innings this year, and really over his career he's thrown a ton of innings. Can you kind of explain the value of having a guy like that in rotation that every year, I know he hasn't been in this rotation for years, but every year make 30, 33 starts, 180 innings?
Yeah, he's really resilient and dependable and durable, and when you've got a guy like that, you kind of don't worry about him. He's always staying in shape, and he's always working, and he's a veteran, so he knows what he needs to do. You never have to worry about a guy like Gibby.